Man, it's not cool. How do I take off the save? Let me check. Okay. Message. Goodbye. OK， 删掉了。OK， 差不多时间了，那我就直接开始。先切过去，游戏直播这里。这个打开，有声音了。有声音了。那就像我今天讲的一样，我们主要的是把这个剧情看完，总共13个。看完之后看时间，如果时间够的话，我会再做其他事情。如果不够的话，我就可能就会直接先休息，因为我还要写东西、读东西，这样子。OK， 先从第一集开始看。Our wait in the lake grows even longer. One by one, the sinners begin succumbing to the tedium. Then Heathcliff suddenly and anxiously called out to Virgilius. 好。As our voyage on the Great Lake extends, the list of things to keep the sinners entertained grows ever smaller. 他说，我们还在海上面晃，所以越来越难让人认真这样子。也不是说认真，让人有东西做。不过其实仔细想，好像也不用太在意，毕竟他们大部分时间也都泡在进迷宫里面嘛。In a way, it sounds like a serious problem, but guys, Anybody got any fun stories to tell? No. For the 30th time, I suppose repeating the exact same phrase that many times is a talent. If it could even be called that, if you are having trouble recalling what you said moments ago. She has repeated that phrase 28 times, to be precise. At 30, I was planning to verify if she had suffered any damage to her occipital region. occipital 是什么？看一下哦。抱歉，查错字典了。后脑勺，所以记忆东西好。I get it. I'm just that bored, okay? There's nothing to do anymore. I'm tired playing the same game of backgammon again and again. What's your average seagull eyes? I was abundantly clear that the sinner was starting to slowly expire from sheer boredom. Well, it's not really a problem that has a solution, and I had zero interesting stories to tell. Consider that I am an amnesiac, so all I could do was sit here and watch the sinners suffer. 还好啦。Putting them through the daily trials of Rear Dungeon wasn't the most exciting activity either. 好抱歉，我说错话了。Speaking of which, Heathcliff appears to be the one least affected by this mess. Yes. Well, not that he was all calm and aloof, that is. I say he's anxious. A frosty silence descended upon the sinners, and the source of that frost was the inexplicable event that just played out before their eyes. Oh, Heathcliff, have you gone insane? Do you finally snap? This must be the side effect of the consultations. Maybe we can call this sense of self-preservation loss syndrome or something like that. Heathcliff. Shut your trap. I ain't mad. And my sense of self-preservation is just fine. Impressive, Heathcliff. I really found myself surprised in this series of misadventures so far, but this is one of those rare occasions. Speak. What is your business? It's Our next destination is T-Corp, isn't it? Ah, British. You really need me to answer that. You know what I'm talking about. Patience, Heathcliff. Though that seems to be a virtue that most of you lack. If everything goes according to the flow, you'll make it to your appointment on time. Since I had no context for any of that, all I could do was sit here and watch as Heathcliff scratched the back of his head. I'm still out of the loop, but Heathcliff must be really anxious about something if he's willing to talk to Virgilius first. And after all that, that's not what else could possibly be more important than that appointment. Wait. Heathcliff turned around to face us. Oi, any of you got any history with T-Corp? Show of hands now. I have in a way. I reside in that place once. 对，李湘有在 T 公司住过一段时间。Right, but we already did you, didn't we? Then, yeah, soon we'll be... We're still in the middle of this mad lake. Oi, Rockhead, what's today's date? How would I know? Can you tell the date? You had a clock for a head. 希特克里夫，你不能这样子欸，并不能说但丁头是一个时钟，你就说他可以看得懂时间嘛。But clocks and calendars are completely different things. That was your 13th sigh today. Keep doing that and you just might huff and puff out both to pieces. Tell us, Heathcliff. The turn is coming up, isn't it? And whatever it is that awaits you there, you're going to have to prepare yourself for it. Yeah, I suppose. There's no use hiding it anymore. After some time... Right, so to summarize, Heathcliff is starting to feel like his turn's coming up, now that Ishmael's had her time in the ringer. And he's got good reason to believe that because Virgilius handed him something in their last consultation that affirmed his suspicion. And according to that something, he'll need some fancy clothes and whatnot to refine his looks before we get to T-Corp. But since we're still so far from escaping the lake, you're starting to feel restless, is that right? I don't so. Yeah, so there's not much you can do about that before we hit solid ground, is there? Oh, come on, Heath. That's it. Don't you worry, I can definitely help you with that as soon as we find land, okay? I don't even know how far away from land we are. Plenty. We have reached the end of scheduled work period for the sinners. Oh yeah. I hereby confirm today's close of business for the sinners. I reflectively set my usual routine piece as a light alarm played. And it wasn't even a big deal then. I was hoping to see an act of dramatic bloodshed for once. Or at least he wasn't trying to stir up trouble for once. The sinners each got up from their seats, yawned and stretched, and one by one disappeared into the back door. 不对，李湘没有吐欸，这边他感觉好像习惯海了吼。Wait, Cockhead. Didn't know they knock your wits off alone with your head. Sorry, but greater than completely wrong is he. Can't even miss word at this point. Virginia and Karen also walked into the back door, marking grins on their faces. And I was standing alone in the ship's cabin, standing awkwardly next to severely crestfallen Heathcliff. Wait, there was another. Sir Heathcliff! What are you doing out here, girl? Run along. We'll go gush about the high and mighty fixer of Heathcliff or something. I shall have plenty of time that later. Yet thou shalt do well to treat me well, Sir Heathcliff. Fyliv.Ghrtle. Allow me to finish. Manager Esquire, Sir Heathcliff, come Heather, hush hush. Heather, okay. Fyliv.Ghrtle wore a confident smile. She slowly, gingerly walked over to presently and temporarily vacant Charon's seat, and whispered ever so silently to us. Forsooth, I have devised a splendid plan for thee. 小唐想要干什么？他想要干什么？哦，他想要随便按按钮，是不是？So what is this splendid plan of yours? I don't think there was word in this word expressive enough to describe that look on Heathcliff's face. It was certain that he had very scant expectation for Fyliv.Ghrtle and her plans, of course. But there was this silver of hope in his face that maybe, just maybe, Fyliv.Ghrtle might rise to the occasion for once. It is unclear whether Heathcliff's internal struggle matters much to Fyliv.Ghrtle. However, she began excitedly describing her plan. Didst thou, Sir Heathcliff, ever heard tale of the ancient and legendary fixer of Deviant Association, the Red Sack? 又是红色特色 The red one, like Virgilius? It is said that the legendary Red Sack carried out his deliveries no matter how terrible the terrain or how arduous the journey to all corners of the city. And with him was his sidekick, Reindeer Man. Forsooth, his magnificence has given away gratuitous gift for children of the city that he deemed to be kind. 'Tis but common knowledge, Sir Heathcliff. He appears on the front cover of the Fixer monthly every winter. Fyliv.Ghrtle asked, sounding genuinely shocked to learn that Heathcliff did not know of this red sack. What makes you think I'd ever read rags like that? Fie to thee, rags thou seest, Manager Esquire. Surely thou hast heard of this magnificent publication. No. 首先，我们不可能听过，因为淡地失忆了。然后没有然后了。I knocked on my ticking clock head. I didn't really feel the need to spell it out for her. So none of thee has subscribed to it then. My words fell on deaf ears. Anyhow, what matter to thee, Sir Heathcliff? that thou endeavourest to make thyself more presentable than anyone else for this occasion, is it not? You're getting to the point, eh? Go on. Marry, good sir, a costume more befitting that occasion will be those of the red sack and his psychic reindeer man. Isn't going to end well, yeah. 我不觉得事情会变得好一点哦。接下来 ，What like those ridiculous Fyliv.Ghrtle, a tardiker RD whatever what? A tardiker RD, the art. 我不会念这个字。'Tis not ridiculous. Fie, thou hast not even deigned to indulge mine only wish that we could cosplay Fyliv.Ghrtle a tardiker ardianty together. Fyliv.Ghrtle a tardiker ardianty. 等一下哦。算了，我不要去找要怎么读好了。就当做我有读过这个字哦。Thou hast not even given it a chance, indeed. Speak not on a matter thou know not about. With all that talk of a splendid plan, I thought you were actually going somewhere, but it all comes around to that fixer nonsense again, eh? Don't even have the energy to beat the sense into you. I'll get to it later. 5 honest hits to the noggin should do it. When the silver of hope on Heathcliff's face was beginning to rapidly fade. Prithee, share thy thought on the fixers that we have laid our eye upon thus far. What? Embarrassing, were they? Remember, were they not fancy and impeccable dressed? Close not thy eyes and heart speak. Absolutely embarrassing thought, yeah. That splendid bulk from K-Corp looked like he leaped right out of a circus. Nay, Lord Siegfried was not embarrassing. Say that his outfit was rather dashing. Wouldn't you agree? Allow me to explain to thee the materials of its fabric so that thy understanding... Excuse me, huh? Hie thee hither, Sir Heathcliff. I am yet unfinished. Why is the girl so hyper today? Well, Lord Siegfried is a special outlier, mayhaps, but dost thou not agree that most fixers are all rather well-dressed and wore honor upon their sleeves? 我目前见过的收尾人，其实没有很多，可是确实都穿得不错。哪怕是像 Yuli 啊、Hopkins 啊，他们也都不错。然后蔷薇工坊的也都还不错，实际上都穿的也都还算好看。至少不会说，不会说丑啦。Honor upon their I don't know about that, but I suppose they were quite posh. Posh, OK, 好，是他们穿的都不错。Exactly, follow thee. I and thou shall see thyself dressed as impeccably and impressive as the fixer are. That I thought it. I know shit all about clothes or make myself look fancy. Right, so let's say I go along with your plan. Where are we going to get them clothes? Honestly, everyone was right. Where are we even going to pick up clothes in the middle of the lake? Aha! Yet I have thought of that as well. Recall that events of yesterday, the sirens that echoed across its bus. Dost thou remember? Now that I think about it, there was a siren yesterday. It went off not long ago before I announced the close of business for the day. But Fel said that the backdoor volatility wasn't anything for us to worry about. Yet I was curious, how indeed does Fel determine which volatility is useful and which is not? Thus, as all were crowded by the back door, preoccupied with returning to their respective quarters, I have secretly and stealthily availed myself the chance to take a glance at the screens. So you took a peep at the screen. You know how to read those complex symbols. 唐识字吗？ I myself had little hopes of recognizing them, yet when I look into them, 好，它不识字。I could very easily tell what the particular symbols on that device indicated. Forsooth, 12 symbols of the red sack and the reindeer man, and next to them was a symbol indicating posh outfits. No, it can't be that simple. Yeah, no, it can't be that simple. Yeah, 不太可能这么简单啊！就看到圣诞老人跟迷路人，还有很好看的衣服，怎么可能？ I agree with Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote remained enthusiastic as ever, as though she was already expecting him to say that. Dost thou know? Every so often, certain symbols appear on the numerous doors past the back door. Every passing glance, I make sure to watch them carefully. And twice yesterday, when, in the corridor, I split myself to the... speed myself the exact door where the exact same symbol that I witnessed on the screen. Only what you didn't. 'Tis my nature as an adventurer, Manager Esquire, my ability to quell the burning adventurous spirit. I prostrate before thee. Know that I have taken the sneakiest peeks, Mary Toss was not too foolhardily. I have only taken a small peek. And I told thee what I witnessed from within, that all my deductions and predictions have been proven true. Could thee find within thyself compassion to spare mine soul? You absolute muppet. Why in the bloody hell do you keep doing what everyone tells you not to? Right, Heathcliff, I just don't understand why some people keep doing things that everyone tells them not to. I remember when Heathcliff ignored all warnings and went into the restricted areas past the area of the corridor that we're allowed to see. We almost lost Heathcliff that day. It was tad different this time, however. Back then, Heathcliff had no idea what was beyond that door. And this time we do. Are you suggesting that we call everyone over to explore that place? Nay, the three of us will be more than sufficient to handle this task. All tales begin with a party of three indeed. 是没错啦，很多剧情确实都是3人开始的。You're just scared of consultation, aren't you? I have nary a clue as to what you may be referring to. The answer to this predicament was right there. Tell them that it's too dangerous and shove them back into their respective rooms to rest up for tomorrow. Manager inquired. That's so indeed. It appears to be a place most peaceful to mine eyes. Just a simple task, is it not? All that we seek to do is to enter there and avail ourselves of a few sets of clothes for Heathcliff. It was obvious that Fyliv.Ghrtle wasn't helping Heathcliff out of pure kindness of her heart. Maybe she hungered for an adventure, or maybe she saw she might be able to do that cosplay of a fixer she so admired. But if we can find Heathcliff some nice clothes to put his heart at ease, then maybe I can do something about this before things get too out of control, like it did last time when we just let sinners' anxieties do it and exacerbate. Fine, but we're turning around at the first sign of danger. Seriously? Come on. You are willing to do it. It meant that you could pick up some clothes. Well, I suppose we'll be okay as long as Clark is with us. Well said then. Let us reconvene tonight before Manager Esquire's quarters. We shall knock in the following rhythm. Knock, 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 knock. Then thou shalt whisper a secret code, to which then I shall just get some sleep. I really hope this won't be a waste of time. We agreed on the precise time before returning to our respective rooms. 对，他们不会留人在船上，然后都会直接被关回去自己房间。Oh, dark silent nights are all sound asleep. Thus we assemble. This better be worth the trouble. It will be worth every trouble, of course. Now come hither. We quietly and sneakily follow Fyliv.Ghrtle, taking care to not make a noise. Are we really crossing this line? Bloody hell, lass! Don't you know what happened the last time I crossed it? Alas, it will be different this time. What we must do is follow the corridor immediately to the right and the delineation and open the door here. So there's the symbol she was talking about. Past the door through the window, the symbols Fyliv.Ghrtle mentioned shimmered. Symbol that seemed to indicate a sack of rat present and what appears to represent fancy clothes. So there's a red sack and reindeer man symbols. Precisely. Right, I suppose you're the expert with these things. I'm going in. Before I even had a chance to stop him, Heathcliff barged into the door, and we found ourselves almost getting dragged in by his sheer fervor. We found ourselves in a rather sizable room. This place was decorated with numerous Christmas-themed ornaments. Warm, cozy lighting reflected off the wooden flooring, and a maze of conveyor belts were installed all over the place. This place is a factory. Quite. And what are those things those little children like? like? It is I, Fyliv.Ghrtle. What the hell is she doing? The little figures his cliff indicated and exactly looked like children. They all froze for a moment before turning around in our directions. They weren't humans, that's for sure. Give me but a moment. I have already parleyed with these fellows. What happened to the sneakiest of peaks? Okay, something's coming this way. A small but large and other around it figure scurried over and stood before us. Ah, Lady Fyliv.Ghrtle, you finally graced us with your presence once again. And just as you did before, poof, appearing from the most unexpected place again. Who is this, Fyliv.Ghrtle? This, the one who shall grant us this wonderful gift indeed. He rubbed his hands, or what I assume to be his hands, together, looked up at us and started. Pleased to make your acquaintance. You must be Lady Fyliv.Ghrtle's friend. My name is Dodoru, a gnome who works at this gift factory. And why, of course, I make gift here. A gnome? Indeed, a gnome. Was that supposed to be obvious? 看起来没有很像小矮人。What are gnomes anyway? So they're not humans, right? Yes, these fellows are not humans. They're gnomes. Yes, of course, not human. Then single humans was allowed in the city. They're not of abnormality or distortion either. There's something else. The city, I knew it. Well, why does it matter if they are not humans? What truly matters is the heart with which they commit themselves to work, that is. Of course, you're absolutely right, my lady. Didn't that Dodoru gnome say something weird about the city just now? So that wasn't just me, huh? Well, is Dodoru cutting our conversation? Do the friends of Lady Fyliv.Ghrtle wish for any present? Say we have fancy clothes and powerful weapon, or a delicious cookie. Fancy clothes, so you really haven't? Looks like we got a winner. Well, then please this way. The gnome said something about introducing us to the reception hall and led us to a certain room in his scurry gait. Seems more like a storage space in a reception hall. Behold, there is a warm fireplace and a table in a cozy place. What more could they possibly ask for? And we have some delicious refreshment ready for you as well. Please wait a moment and I'll be right back with the gift you want. The gnome bowed, opened the door, and scuttled out of the room. A reception hall usually this barren? I've never been in one before, so I had no idea if this was what they were supposed to look like. I had to ask. Especially because it was starting to get pretty obvious, even with my rather limited experience, that there was something off about this whole situation. I have once heard a rumor that this kind of decor has been catching on in recent years. Yeah, I've heard that too. Apparently it's popular for some blokes to just deliberately leave their stuff lying around in some half-finished looking buildings. You know what this is? Still Lionheart. Elder Squire, I shall personally be responsible for this expedition and claim ourselves shiny gifts. If push comes to shove, I could nab some of these. I saw them packing some shiny, expensive-looking stuff over there. No thievery this time, Heathcliff. Has an incident with the hair coupons already left thy mind? Ah, blimey. Fine. Heathcliff was as foul-mouthed as always, but it was evident from his relaxing expression that his anxiety was starting to ease. Maybe the fact that we're here about to find what he's looking for was comforting now. A comforting thought. Heathcliff, is it that important that you dress well for this occasion? Oh yeah, a rather delicate but gently smoldering hearth. Calm, silent air, a perfect atmosphere to bring up uncomfortable subject for some honest heart-to-heart. Or is it someone waiting for you there, someone who you'd like to dress up for? Well, I suppose you're not completely wrong. A secret is it? Fyliv.Ghrtle excitedly and loudly dragged her chair up close to Heathcliff. I have to go back as a successful man, as someone of great worth, so that they'll know that I've changed, that I'm no longer that witless brigand Heathcliff. That's why I have to dress posh when I return to appear like a man of quality. Has someone stoked the fire of envy inside stomach? Is this about revenge like Ishmael? Revenge? No. Heathcliff leaned back on his chair. It creaked as he rocked gently back and forth. There was a look of deep introspection on his face, which was, if my memory serves me right, a first. Well, I suppose you could call it revenge, but what I really want to do is make a regret. Yeah, that's what this is. I'll show them. I'll trample over those bastards who thought I wasn't worth shite. So that she'll regret not choosing me, so that she will feel the regret down to the deepest reaches of her heart. I'll prove to Cassie that there was no better man for her than I. Cassie. Heathcliff's eyes trembled a little as he speaks her name. He's mentioned of that name before. His eyes trembled then too. This Cassie must be something pretty important to you. Of course, bloody important. So what happened between the two of you? Between you and Cassie? Catherine to be exact, and I call her Cassie. It's a long and complicated story. Allow my intuition to speak for thee. This Cassie must be a lover, is she not? Is that what she is to you? No, it's nothing like that. Okay, maybe a little bit. He's stuttering like Sinclair on a bad day, while his disposition was as brusque as always. I could clearly see that he couldn't stop himself from smiling from the mere mention of her name, and that gave him more than enough answers. Every sinner has a reason for joining LIMBUS Company, so maybe Heathcliff joined LIMBUS Company for this Cassie person. Catherine. Makes me wonder what kind of a person she might be. Though someone that special, that precious to Heathcliff. Don't be so overdramatic, that ain't me. Now I do this Not out of my obligation as a manager, but I'm starting to think that I want to help you out, so that you could be the best man you can be for her. Indeed, we shall all be. People of quality. Cousin, I heard the door open in that very moment. It wasn't there, the reception hall door. That one was made of wood, but wouldn't make the sound that I just heard. The sound came from over there, away from us, from a dark corner of the room. Then we heard sounds of metal scraping against wood. It was accompanied by a howling blizzard. So those were sleigh marks, huh? The huge sleigh made its way across the wooden floor. On the marks that were already on floorboards, it was flanked by several gnomes. The sleigh was red, and the stacks on it were either black or red. But they were all littered with flesh and blood. Dodoru, we got your next batch of ingredient right here. Phew, my back. Come on, friend. Just think about the looks on our friends' faces when they open their present. All worth it, of course. Well worth it. Here, here. The gaggle of gnomes who were walking in our direction as they chattered and gossiped froze in place upon noticing us. Quit lollygagging. Quit chatting and help us out. We've got a lot of process. Besides, we brought some live one this time. I think I saw some sacks on the sleigh roof. No, they were thrashing like something was trying to escape. Is that... Grab your weapons, girl. What is the matter with thee? These fellows are but hardworking. Hello, is there someone out there? Please help! Get me out of here! Just say. What a joyous day! This one fish. Oh. They're humans. Did Manager Dodoru bring him here? How he managed to bring humans so fresh? So all along, the factory has been... Oh boy. I could hear a familiar face coming from the other door in the room as Fyliv.Ghrtle stood there flabbergasted. Dodoru's done a blunder. The sleigh was supposed to be coming here. Don't you worry, just a little game between us gnomes. That's your excuse? Master Dodoru. Dodoru is listening. Tell me the content of those sacks. Raw materials was present, of course. Besides, Lady Fyliv.Ghrtle, Dodoru's prepared those fancy clothes for you and your friends to wear. Why don't we head right to the where? What raw materials are there? Dodoru's tired of lying. Humans like you. You lot. What I say about using the storage space. I told you this one was off limit. But I have gonna deliver nothing but disappointment to our neighbor. Even now, they await gifts from our factory. Oh, my bad. And I already told the factory director to look forward to this batch. Oh, I'm thinking. This was absolutely not worth it. You know what you're thinking, Clockhead? So quit sighing and start strategizing. We've got to get out here, yeah? Yeah, sitting here and feeling sorry for myself won't do anything. He never did. Got it? Grab the tools. Fresh, locally produced material coming up. Right then, let's crack on, you little shites.哇，我才读3章就1个小时了，好快哦，有点太快了。好，那我们继续。The fault lies with me. 小唐说出那句话了。The light of confidence had completely faded from Don Quixote's face, so did her enthusiastic voice. No, I should have thought this plan through. Well, if we were to find someone to blame, the biggest fault would be lying with me. The manager. Maybe I should turn around the moment I sensed that something was off. Ah, alas! With that, Don Quixote marched toward the most abandoned sleigh. This is. Several mutilated bodies tumbled to the ground as soon as Don Quixote undid the knot tying the sack. Damn it, I was afraid that this is what we find inside the sack. There was a total of 7 or so people in the sack, but they were all missing a few limbs, they were barely breathing, and some of them had already perished. I've never seen their style of clothing before. Looks like we're pretty far away from where we were. I've seen similarly worn and torn clothing in the back street, but the clothing they wore was of materials and styles that I did not see before. The back door must have sent us pretty far. Charles did tell me that each district within a city has different cultures and such, so doesn't really matter, does it? They'll die soon, and it's not like you can turn the clock for them. Let's just get back to the bus. Nay, here, this person here is intact. Hark, get a hold of thyself. Art thou the one who requested our help earlier? Who are you? Your clothes are weird looking. I guess you're not from the village? Village? 所以他们是附近的一个村庄，所以不在都市里面。 The child was dressed in torn and faded clothing from the way she looked at us. I could tell that she found us rather fascinating. She soon woke out from her momentary shock. Anyways, thank you for saving me. My name is Crayon, and clockwork teeth. The kid pointed at me and backed away in terror. The hell are you talking about? That's Clockhead. My name is Dante. Clockhead, but I heard that the clockwork teeth look like clocks. I guess I also heard that they don't show up this high. I never seen a monster like that before though. But they are not a monster. This is none other than our very own Manager Esquire. Thanks for the intro, I guess. But I can't hear anything but the tick-tocking of the clock. Well, Manager Esquire has their reasons. Art thou unharmed? Yeah. Looks like these other people who were dragged here with me weren't so lucky though. The child looks at us mutilated corpse with a despondent look on her face. Don Quixote cast a sympathetic gaze. So they were all neighbors from that village. Yeah, but our village will soon send the hunters to save us. As long as they can get here, they can. Hunters? I wasn't sure what exactly she was talking about, so I was about to ask her what she meant. But this reception hall storage room suddenly began to fill with gas of unknown origin. This is what now? Quick, hold my breathing. An odd plume of gas is hue red and green begins to fill the room. This gas is the same gas from when I was kidnapped. The three of them, including Crayon, passed out and slumped to the floor. Yeah, something like this had happened before when we accidentally walked into a toxic death gas trap, which killed everyone. Looks like this gas only knocks them out, though that's a relief, at least. Guess I should consider myself lucky that my clockhead isn't affected by these things. I gotta hide. As soon as I hid myself in a corner, a crowd of gnomes rushed through the same door Totoro came in from. Gas back, so they used sleeping gas on us. Is that all that's left of Manager Totoro? All that talk and snagging 3 top-notch raw materials, and now look at him, a pile of meat. 1, 2, all accounted for, I suppose. They're all fast asleep with their sleepy powder, so don't you all worry yourself about harming the good. Well, let's move the good. They picked up Don Quixote, Heathcliff, and Crayon one by one and loaded them onto the sleigh. With that, they left, closing the door behind them. And through it all, I couldn't do anything but watch. Right, looks like this is my time to shine. I'll rescue the 3 of them. No way, I should have listened when Ishmael offered to teach me self-defense. What do I do? Yeah, what should he do? 但听不像是可以做什么事情的人。A harsh truth stole down on me every time we face total annihilation. The truth that on my own, I'm completely useless. If they were with us, I could at least bring them back, but none of the sinners are here with me. What good am I without them? It's a miracle that I managed to survive this far. Yeah. Miracle? What miracle? Come on, get a hold of yourself. 以斯玛利来了。Great. Now I'm hearing things. You're not hearing things, manager. We're really here. Do you even know what a mess it was up there when we realized that the three of you just vanished into thin air? I bolted up and looked toward the voice. There I saw another door. And from it, the rest of the sinners appeared one by one. I will inquire about this incident later, Dante. For now, command us in this battle.那个门到底是做什么的？在梅菲斯上面的到底是什么门？不知道。Thanks, everyone. How did you find me? We entered via the back door. The signals were no longer detected from within the bus premises. Then every sinner was immediately summoned from their respective rooms for the search. And so soon after our break started, Dante, let's try to not do anything like this again, Even if you are the executive manager, rogue behavior such as this poses too great a risk. Please be wary of that. I'm sorry. How did you guys find us? As of late, Heathcliff was in a constant state of uneasiness. Consider the nature of our circumstances. I conjure that there was aught that he had to do before our arrival at T-Corp. On the day in which the backdoor volatility sirens echoed, Don Quixote made a relatively delayed return to the backdoor. And come the next day, she requested from me and Miss Fowles an encyclopedia of commerce symbols used in the city. Yes, so Fowles lent her a few volumes. Ever since receiving the volumes, Miss Don Quixote sat next to me and perused the pages with a rather enthusiastic expression on her countenance, although I could not converse with her on account of my conditions. I do recollect that the following words were repeated audibly: cosplay costume sack. In summation, I summarize that Miss Don Quixote witnessed a series of symbols that caught her attention when the siren blared. And Fowles was aware of the door which those symbols were drawn. Based on that information, the sinners were able to find a way here. We engaged several entities on the corridor on our path to this door. Good thing we only ran into weaklings, though. An irreversible death of a sinner could have occurred in the process. Do you understand? Engaging hostile forces in your absence carries an exceedingly high level of risk. We could have been lost forever in some corners of the corridors as bodies, never be revived nor retrieved. Please comprehend what weight of your responsibility and the risk of your independent action carries. You must survive, executive manager, no matter what. Do I make myself clear? I've never seen Otis look at me like that. Her gaze was cold and ruthless. You survived was a lucky coincidence, Dante. The sequence of those symbols are not supposed to be interpreted in such haphazard manner. I'm really sorry. I don't know what else to say. I believe that is enough, but... MDQ. Yeah, Don Quixote, Heathcliff. Where's the pairman off to? Oh, that's... I told them exactly as the event transpired. Seriously, how just 3 even managed to survive this far? Alright, Manager Bud, I'm sure you've heard enough from the others, so I won't say any more. But where exactly are we? Which district is this? Oh, we must be somewhere in one of the northern districts of the city, or... We're not in the city. Okay, 我们在城市之外。What do you mean? I mean that we are not in a city. Those intelligent organisms called gnomes are part of species surviving in the outskirts, commonly known as monsters of the outskirts. Monster again. After all that we faced at the lake, they weren't exactly like the whales, so we could communicate with the gnomes. They were just like people, except smaller. So we're in a completely different range of the outskirts. I would have liked to explore the area if the circumstances permitted. Look, the structure seems to have been custom built for the gnomes, considering how small everything here is. If this is the outskirts, we can go back, right? As long as the door we enter through remains open, yes. It is open for now. But if it closes, then an unexpected journey begins. We will have to trek the distance from the outskirts back to the city, which will be a significant endeavor in both time and effort. Isn't that a bit dangerous? Where is this sound coming from? I struggled. Got your tools. Dante, come hither the back of the line. The door slammed open and gnomes began flooding into the room. We prepare ourselves for battle.蛮怪的剧情到目前为止，不过好像也还行。I see their similarities with humans, but they certainly aren't humans. Except for their odd verbal quirk, those monsters are impressively communicative. I don't even know if they should be categorized as monsters. The definition is often arbitrary. Some may call them monsters, yet others may call them members of a different sentient race. I appreciate your analysis, but we should probably get moving. We still don't know where Heathcliff and Don-Quixote are. You always say the right things at the right time, Executive Manager. Exploring the outskirts area will carry higher risk than our usual operation grounds. To ensure this manager's safety, we must first establish a more structured plan. Well, I say the easiest answer would be leave the two of them, but the easiest path is always the right one. He shall kick open the door the gnome rushed in from. Come on, let's go. We'll protect the manager and save Heathcliff and Don-Quixote. 我发现莫松他这一次的剧情讲比较多话。So now that I had some time to look around out here, this factory appears to be a gift factory. I see, so there are factories like these that produce gifts. Christmas decorations everywhere. There's still some time until Christmas, though. Sinclair looked to the ground with a somber expression. I didn't need to ask to know how he's feeling. I wonder if monsters exchange gifts to each other. They didn't seem like the monster hospitable sort. They didn't seem like a most hospitable sort. There is a possibility that they may be contractors to one of the wings in the city. I wanted to say no chance, but the city and the wings that we've experienced so far were... Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, there was a non-zero chance of that being the case. After spending some time battling gnomes and trashing the gift factory, we soon realized that the gifts the conveyor belt was moving weren't your average gift. Is that a fruit? Is that a sign with a drawing of a fruit? What's that doing here? This one is adorned with a depiction of an idol. These gifts appear to be made from materials that do not normally go into building these items. Their shapes are of teddy bears, oil pastel boxes, toy trays, but they have an abnormally high concentration of proteins and phosphorus. However, the decorations on the lights are made of proper materials. They must have salvaged the waste expelled from the city. It's obvious GFFH. Gift made from humans. More stuff made from human sacrifice. I guess the outskirts isn't so different from the city, huh? That's really concerning is who are these gifts for? Who in their right mind will want anything like these? Who knows, rich folks with screwed-off perversions? Maybe that's who they're for. So, if they're making gifts out of people, Heathcliff and Don-Quixote with the gnomes turn them into gift too. Will the gnomes turn them into gifts too? 我猜是会。如果他们就算被变成礼物的话，但丁应该也可以转时钟回去吧？只要能找到他们的尸体的话。I do recall them saying something about locally produced materials. Then we must move with haste. I have discovered a location with a high probability of their presence, presuming that they haven't been turned into gifts yet. After a long silence, Russell spoke up. He pointed in a direction. There, the placard said gift assembly. 莫松真的说比较多话了。I think I'm hearing some odd noises in there. A rather high-pitched SOS is always a good indicator of wonderful happenings. Can you not giggle about sounds of screaming, please? I'm familiar with this tone. The decibel range of this screaming is an exact match with Fyliv.Ghrtle's. Wait, we haven't yet conducted a threat assessment of the combat area. That area appears to be a closed-off space, which means... If we were Heathcliff with us, she would have said as such. Said what? I think I know. How bloody frustrating. Quit whining, pick up your fools, and get cracking. Hey, that was pretty close. Ishmael soon blasted the door open with a powerful kick. Meanwhile... Ow. Where the bloody hell are we? Why am I tied up? I regretfully say to thee that we are quite screwed. Forsooth, we are fated to become toys in that hydraulic press. It appears that when the time comes, I shall be turned into a roly-poly toy myself that rises with every fall. Oi, shut your trap and do something. We've got to get out of these binds. Sir Heathcliff, I apologize profusely. 'Tis true that there was the tiniest bit of selfishness with me that I wished to procure the red set cosplay set for myself, however. It was no lie that I wished to find thee an impeccable outfit. Not that I knew that this was going to happen, but when I'm out of this bind, at least thou shalt become an elaborate pocket watch. Dang clocks again. I think they're going to turn me into a box of color pencil. 24 vibrant nature colors, or so it says. We've not seen living raw materials in a while, but they are a bit loud. Can you see if my ears are bleeding? The more they scream, the heavier our recipient will be. Then let's get cutting. Boom. Heathcliff, Fyliv.Ghrtle. Ah, what a relief. They've not been turned into gifts yet. Quite cozy in here. Go on. Hello. We're here for you, Heathcliff. To see you over. Looks like we got here in the nick of time. Heathcliff was about to be shoved into the gift-making hydraulic machine press. 好酷哦，这个机器，它直接把人放进去，然后压下去，然后就变成礼物哦。I have hewn your straps. Descend. Look, I'm not the type to wear my heart on my sleeve, but after you love saved me from getting turned into a pocket watch, I have to say it's that you absolute idiot! You two have one job, to remain by the executive manager's side, yet you let yourself be captured like this. You know what? Forget it. Right, get a hold of yourself, you two. Manager, what now? Well, we've got to trash this place. Come on, get ready to wear your identities. 这是前几次，这好像也不是前几次了，但算是蛮少见的，就是但丁直说要那个罪人直接穿人格起来。After we defeated the horde of gnomes, Don Quixote and Heathcliff fell to their knees before everyone. I also knelt down, feeling like I should be down there with them, but Utis tightly pulled me to the side. You absolute buffoons! How did you ever think that this was going to turn out okay? Are you even aware of the risk a scientific manager took to get here? How worried they were about you too. Well, actually, Clockhead was in on it for the sake. Silence! Do not refer to the executive manager with such derogatory language, insolent fool. You. 'Twas my fault. My mother used to scold me like this in my youth. Otis did not seem to slow down at all with the stern scoldings, and the pair fell completely silent, their heads hung low. I decided to wander away from this scene. This guilty conscience was too much for me to bear. Is Crayon doing okay? Yes, she merely lost her conscience from excess psychological shock. How did you find yourself at a place such as this? You are a human, right? And we're really in the outskirts. Crayon initially appears somewhat taken back from the deluge of questions, but she soon began to open up. So you're really from the sea. I'm from Cloud Town. It's a village on the north side of the outskirts. 所以在城市之外还有小城镇。我一直以为说城镇之外就真的没有人了。Are there a lot of monsters like the gnomes out here and can speak? Yeah, there are many more monsters out here other than the gnomes. I've seen a few of them myself, but the village elders told me about the rest. Our village was built to keep the monster out to keep us safe. If this didn't happen, we'd all be preparing dinner back at the village by now. So they raided your village. Yeah, and they attacked us when the hunters were gone, so we normally don't get raided by them around this time of year. So I thought we were safe, but they suddenly attack us, rushing in on their face. Some of us tried to fight, but we didn't stand a chance, and everyone that they killed got shoved into the sack on that sleigh. I passed out from fright, and they thought I was dead too. I got shoved into the sack like the rest of the villagers. Oh, we forced you to talk about something that couldn't have been easy to go through. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. And I ask things too. Anything. Is that true that crayon boxes in the city have 48 different colors? And they have gold and silver colors crayons too? Probably, and they're just people in the city, right? No monsters like the LIMBUS that try to kill us, right? It's kind of hard to answer that actually. Sometimes I climb high hill to look at the city. I always saw pretty colors light up from there. So colorful that I don't have enough colors in my crayon box to draw them all. I wish I could live in a city. If I lived there, I never have to worry about getting attacked by monsters. I could live happily with my neighbors. You've really never been to the city, huh? Absolutely. Same story everywhere. Doesn't matter where you are. There's always stalks us. Whoa, that was so cool. Can you say that again? That was cool. Oh, did you guys see anyone else nearby by any chance? I don't think we ran into any other humans out here. No, but he has to be here to save us. What do you mean? The best hunter of Cloud Town. If he was in a village, the gnomes wouldn't have. It appears that in the outskirts there are hunters who specialize in hunting monsters akin to whalers of the Great Lakes, that is. But wait, so if they kidnapping and killing humans for these gifts, who are these gifts for? Of course, these gifts are for our poor and kind neighbors who do not cry. Executive Manager, retreat. I don't know when it happened, but a large shadow was looming over us. Oh, what does that say? I am Santata, bringers of gifts to our neighbors. Ho ho ho. The guffawing giant, garbed in red, carried a massive gift sack on his shoulder. It was definitely not a human. Yeah, it's that gift. That was the boss. Oh, the Crimson Guard. That is the Crimson Guard that I spoke of. The pair immediately jumped up from their knees and began shouting in unison. That's a red sack's outfit, oi. Then he's already... No, not a reindeer man. 2. Shut it. Cut the useless chatter for once. After silencing the pair with a short, stern command, Otis approached me and spoke in a low voice. Executive Manager, since he has appeared to be an intelligent species, I will attempt to parley with it. But we best prepare to battle in case the talks fall through. Yeah, that's a good idea. What do you mean by neighbors? Wings? Client from the city? But we are denied to entry the city, are we not? Did that big lump eat a gnome too? I happened to overhear the gnome during our time in captivity. They call their master Bear Giant, which I believe is not a gnome. A giant? There really are all kinds of monsters out there, huh? Ante, that's not an abnormality, is it? No, that's not an abnormality or a distortion. I say it's closer to the whales. You yearn for gifts too, yet your kind already owns all there is to own. We and our neighbors in the outskirts wish so dearly for that very day, the only day we are allowed joy and comfort in human gifts. I see you produce toys out of humans and give them to those who harbor hatred for humans. out of pure goodness of your heart. Here, where all those who have been marginalized and exiled by humans gathered and wallow, we poured our infinite hatred and care into packaging this gift. 所以这个是鲁道夫的由来。我记得鲁道夫的选择台词是来自无限的憎恨之中，我将这个礼物赠送给你。所以，对这个鲁道夫应该真的是从圣诞老人这边出去的。Quite verbose ways to saying I refuse to negotiate. Why don't you come here and join us? Become joy to those who need it. Human cells separate the flesh from your bones. Santana's gut suddenly began to expand. All of you, hold your breath. Suddenly, a large figure leaped out of the dark and slammed what looks like a stake into Santana's gut. Whoa, 'tis a smell of most foul. I think I'm about to pass out. A scent of potently fetid refuse lingers. Some sinners dropped to the floor while the others gagged profusely. Clearly, this was a rather painful experience for all. This gas does not appear to be toxic, however. Its scent seems to inspire an extreme level of discomfort in people. So you've defeated the northern giant, and you don't seem to know the proper procedure for what to do afterwards. Are you hungry for the city? Proper procedure? Immediately before death, a northern giant's body filled with noxious gas before exploding in a rain of acid. The man who staked Santana's guts explained as he approached us. You have to puncture a hole in its gut to let out the gas before its internal organs condense it into acid fluid, allowing it to cause a chain reaction that could complicate things. Heck, this stench won't come off. What's that now? Mr. Domino! Crayon, who's been holding her breath with her fingers over her nostril, ran up to the large man and hugged him. At least you're safe, Crayon. That's good. After stumbling for a moment, due to the stench, most likely, Otis briefly gasped for air before approaching Domino. Hey, you, identify yourself. Name's Domino. I am a monster hunter from Cloud Town. I don't suppose I can call it a town anymore now that's just me and Crayon that's left. Relax, I wouldn't even think of hurting any of you. So you're the hunter that the girl mentioned. Otis relaxed upon Domino's confirmation. She leaned on the wall and looked onto the floor in relief. Normally around this time of the year, these monsters would have gone further north to a different village, so I was on an expedition to help them out. Looks like they decided to switch things up this time around. When I returned, they already finished their raid on our village and left. Damn it. It used to be predictable, attacking only right before Christmas. This tragedy happens often. Though I can't speak for the city, I say that this is a common occurring in the outskirts. It's a hellish place to live. You can even call this living. Surviving alone is a miracle out here. Are there a lot more places out here like this? Like this mockery of a gift factory? No, can't say I've seen a factory like this anywhere else, but I can tell you one thing. Compared to some worse things that could have happened, this tragedy was nothing. That's the natural order of things in the outskirts. I do wonder sometimes if we were in the city, no matter how bad it gets there, it must be better than this living hell. It was no easy contemplation to answer. The outskirts must be a hellish place to live if what he's told me is anything to go by, but the city they admire so much isn't such a warm place itself, from what I've seen in my journey so far at least. Then accompanying us back to the city, we were on our... Don't she couldn't stop herself, realizing that every other sinner was giving her a look of disapproval. Thank you for your kind words at least. I wish it were that easy. If I could at least let this child enter the city somehow, just like that. But the city has no place to spare for this child, not even a small corner of it. Even if you were to somehow make it past the city's wall, there are countless variations of paperwork and procedure you must overcome before you can live the kind of life you desire. And what would people like us even do with such paperwork? And where would we find them out here? We're not studied or worked to find a job in the city as some youths of other villages do. There was an uncomfortable silence. Domino cleared his throat and continued. I must still extend my gratitude for keeping the girl safe until my arrival. I know good ways to extend your gratitude. Maybe you can extend us a nice pouch of shiny and jangling speck of... Rodia's eyes were twinkling. The lingering stench made it difficult for her to speak, but she was determined to make her point. Something shiny and jangling, sure. Maybe I can give you a tour of some antique items I keep at home. Precious items salvaged from the locomotive tracks and outskirts. Not something you'll see every day in the city, I'm sure. Items on the outskirts that tour alone could be worth much time than just pure cash. Well, there's still a decent chance that the door we enter through might just shut behind us, right? Indeed, in fact, it's unclear whether the door is still open. I recommend a quick return to the bus now our two primary objectives has been secured. So she says, if you would permit me to speak my mind, executive manager, even if this is not the Great Lake, the outskirts is an extremely perilous place. This curious cannot be a reason for us to risk getting stranded in this environment. Looks like you've got to hurry back. Well then, catch. Domino tossed a carved wooden doll in my direction. It does not appear to be anything dangerous. Let us inspect it further after we return. We mustn't dally any longer than we have to. Yeah, good ideas. Some sinners had to pass out and had to be carried by others. Most could stop gagging at the stench, but we still made our way back to the door. The door has remained open. We made it back to the safe of Mephistopheles. Sometimes better. Who's the carried? Evacuate. Charon quickly made her escape to the decks. And Virgilius greeted us in the cabin with a terrifying gaze. Looks like everyone had quite the adventure. Covered in blood and guts, and with disgusting stench of stench to boot. Oh, this is... Manager, I can't hear you anyways. So just reply to me, query with a nod or a shake. Your replies better match up with my expectation, of course. I have but one question. Was it you who made the call? I hesitated for a moment before nodding affirmatively. I might get reprimanded, or maybe he has worse things in mind for me, but it was I who decided to go along with their plans. This would not have happened without my authorization. Good. Then my question thing is over. Huh? I will leave it to you to deal with this mess. You may rest afterwards, and please do something about this foul stench. Well then, with that, Virginius disappeared into the back doors once again. That's unexpected. I thought my time has finally come. Be glad. The best consultation is a consultation not had, indeed. Alas, behold, one and all. I don't know when she had the time to pick it up, all that chaos, but Fyliv.Ghrtle managed to haul a huge sack of gifts back from Memphis to Phyllis. You picked that up from all that mess? I have laid claim upon the evil gnome's trinkets. Now that some real commitment. What's all that for? Art thou truly unaware of my intention? 'Tis adorning our ship with Christmas decorations. Wait now, but we still like 3 months away from Christmas. Agreed, let's not risk peeling old wounds to lower the morale of our company is... Oh, it's okay, it's been getting better with time, little by little. Yeah, we can all go beyond it eventually. Marvelous. Then this appears to be an occasion most fit for party, then. What say you? Don't tell me you went through all that trouble for some party decorations. According to Dante's explanation, this incident was spurred on by Heathcliff's needs for an outfit. Heathcliff has been silently brooding in his seat, with his face buried in his palm, out of shame most likely. Very yet, that very costume we had thought was worn by none other than that monstrous giant. I don't suppose it would fit Sir Heathcliff anyhow. Forget it, it wasn't the kind of looks I was going for anyways. What did I say, Heath? Well, he'll realize out as soon as we land, Kate. The outfit's one thing, yeah, but we're speaking of the port ship we sailed past, the port ship on which the hair salons that printed those hair coupons conducted their business. The coupons could not be used, as the port ship was not on our charted route. Leave it to me to style hair. I've done my sisters' and younger siblings' hair pretty often. We don't know how long we'll be floating on this dang lake anyway. Besides, I don't even know how to dress myself proper. I was going to attempt the trial and error methods. Okay, but can you at least tell us what is that Virginius gave you, just so that we know what exactly you are so anxious about? Solid. After a deep, heavy sigh, Heathcliff produced a letter. Something Virginius gave you. Oh, I remember my family used this envelope before it. It's made from really expensive paper, made only in limited quantities at the time. It's quite a luxurious envelope. Can we read it, Heath? Sure, it's nothing impressive. Then why don't you read it out loud for the rest of us? Sure. Rhodia handed me the letter. It was written in a beautiful series of cursive handwriting, drawn to an almost calligraphic perfection. I began reading. From Wuthering Height. we cordially extend you, honored guest, an invitation to the something. What's this here? Something colored over this part of the letter. Well, I'll keep reading. Venues, Wuthering Heights, T Corp Nest. Should you accept our invitation, please convene at a designated location by 4 in the afternoon on the 24th within this letter on your person. Please honor this occasion with your presence. With great respect, Daddy. Oh, now here's a postscript. It's written in different handwriting from the rest of the letter. P.S. You have to be here, Heath. I'll be waiting, Cassie. We had no way to tell what kind of occasion it was on account of the being colored over, but clearly the rest of the letter contents have stoked the first passion in Heathcliff's heart once again. So, you gotta look fashionable and classy for this Cassie person, right? Well, yeah, but there's more to it than... Quiet now. Now I can clearly see why you were so impatient. Why are you looking at me like that? I'll leave it up to you to style his hair, Master Hairdresser Hongu. I wouldn't call myself a master. Oh, wait, where are you taking me? Wait, where are you taking me? God, what is this bloody hell is this grip? Yeah, Rhodia's got quite a grip strength. Won't free yourself from her anytime soon. The two sinners practically holding Heathcliff by his arm disappear into the back door. Now Heathcliff's fate was sealed. To be a mannequin, to now motivated and unbearably bored Rhodia in various experimentations. I can hand this trinket here. Fyliv.Ghrtle began humming a song, a carol perhaps, as she placed the various trinkets around the bus. I decided to go out to the deck for some air. I leaned on the railing and dug through my pockets. The wooden door domino the hunter gave me just as we hurriedly left. I held it and felt its texture under my finger. My eyes looked into the distance toward where the outskirts lies. I thought for a moment about the gnomes, the giant, and the things Domino told me. I suppose there are people with stories in the outskirts too. Stories different from those in the city. Giles approached from behind and stood next to me. I wasn't sure how much what I said she heard. Follow the stars until star by star, then you will one day learn. So for now, follow the closest star that shines before your eyes. Yeah, I have to focus on the stories of the city for now. I don't even know who I really am after all. Joyous laughter and frustrated howls echoed out of the campus. They must have finished dressing up Heathcliff. Why don't we go take a look at how Heathcliff is doing, Faust? You make a rather tempting offer, Dante. The added color to the bus interior warmed my heart a little. 结束，刚刚好快2个小时。这边其实有打错，这个应该是 pre-battle 战斗前，然后这个是 post-battle。不对，这2个都是，这个是 post-battle， 就是战斗后的，然后这个不能算 pre-battle， 因为这边没有战斗，你记错的话。好啦，那么今天就先到这里。咻，我回到沙滩。嘿 ，OK。 9点差不多。好了，那今天就先这样子，我们明天或下礼拜再直播。如果会直播的话，我会在我的推特上面传提醒，你一样可以在我的直播上面看到，在我的关于上面看到我的推特链接，然后就直接点进去就可以看到我了。差不多就这样子，拜拜，拜拜啦。